Okay, can I just say, holy cow, the crazy world building that we got in this chapter of Black Clover, chapter 216. Oh, the three nations that surround the Clover Kingdom, the introduction to Damnatio, so much, baby. So one time for me, one time, that Black Clover greatness. Let's jump into it.
Whether Facebook, Twitter, or the two, make sure to steer clear, cause I'm coming through like...
Okay, so the chapter opens up with Asta freaking out after the proclaims that Julius made that, yo dog, you gonna die. That's one of the three major things that's going down. And this chapter had a nice blend of, not only was it dropping bombshells of like, yo, we surrounded, we weakened, Asta's gonna die, you know, very, very big information, big world building, all that stuff. But it also provided a lot of comedy. Like the opening up again with Asta just freaking out like, oh my god, like, yo, yeah, talking about other matters like, hey, how about my life, bro? Very, very awesome. And of course, you know, Seke and stuff like that, which we're gonna get to it. And then we got the fact that Julius confirms that Asta's black power is from a devil. Now, it's kind of interesting. So that means that Julius has possibly known for a while now where that power came from and just kind of kept it to himself. Like, because you think about it, Asta's used that power multiple times, and I'm imagining, I can't really remember, to be honest with you, but I think he's used it in front of Julius before, and Julius knows a lot, so he's probably already known this, and probably this whole attack from, you know, Lit and the Eye of the Midnight Sun, or Patri, whatever, kind of derailed potentially maybe some plans that he had to secure the kingdom from a lot of these things that are going down. Because if he knew that Asta already had this power that comes from the devil and all this stuff, and that there's other nations, probably he's like, damn, we stuck our foot in it having to deal with this issue of betrayal within the kingdom when we got a whole bunch of other shit going on outside of it. Also, I've noticed that they're starting to implement that. The demon thing has been around for a while because Noelle said, yeah, my nanny told me about demons and it's similar and stuff like that. So now it's been implemented, which I don't really remember how much of this has been told, because like even the attack from, you know, Patri, or not Patri, Lit, from back in the day against the first Wizard King, I don't really remember them saying like, yeah, you know, there was demons, or Noelle saying this and that regarding Asta's look and the horns and all that stuff. So definitely, if it wasn't a major thing before that was like slowly implemented, it is being implemented now, because holy cow, like it shows that there's a lot of historical, I guess, crossing over with these people, at the very least these demons, because if Noelle's nanny knew, then there's probably more to it. And again, going back to the comedy, when Yami's like, yo, get away from me, I don't want, yikes, you know, I don't want that, your gross demonness to rub off on me. Yami for the win, okay, baby? Like, that's the stuff that really makes chapters like this. I love chapters where you get a whole bunch of information, but it doesn't just feel like an information dump. It doesn't just feel like, here you guys go, this is all you need to know. There's still personality to it. Like, things like Yami joking around and saying, Asta, get away from me, you're gross. Like, that shit is funny. And then something very big, where Julia says that the black horns are signs a person has stepped into the realm of forbidden spells connected to a world apart from our own. So it's starting to showcase that not only potentially that we have these three kingdoms around, which again it gets revealed later on in the chapter, but potentially there's something even more that we're not seeing. If there's a realm that we can't see, that's meaning a realm or a world that is not in the physical. So who knows, maybe at some given point, not only are we going to have to face these three kingdoms, but all three kingdoms. Hey, you should check that live action Chinese out, Three Kingdoms. Very awesome. But, you know, there's potentially a threat within this spirit realm that we're also going to have to, at some given point, face. And the introduction to the forbidden spells, where you got Nero kind of saying, yeah, that's kind of what happened with me, a mix of my magic 500 years ago, along with this forbidden spell, is why I could turn into this bird form back and forth. And it's like, yo, so if Nero's also known this, it seems as though a lot of people have been withholding information for a while. Nero knew this for a long time. Well, granted, Nero didn't, you know, break out of that bird form or whatever, but Nero knew this for a while. Julius kind of knew, hey, Asta's power is of that of a devil. So it makes you kind of wonder, like, why did they withhold this information all this time? And I love how it was, the curse was known as vague. Like, hey, it's so vague that, well, I'm imagining that's how it's pronounced, right? And it seems like it's a pun off the word vague. Like, it's very vague. All the details are not known, so to speak. So definitely, again, so many bombshells after another. And if it's a curse, I'm wondering, okay, at some given point, does Asta have to get this curse off of him? Or is it like similar, like a curse mark? Or what's up with that? Because I'm imagining if Asta wanted to get this off of him, he would eventually have to get it removed. But you know how shonen shit goes. I'm imagining Asta's going to try and befriend, so to speak, this curse, similar to like a Naruto with Kurama or things like that. Because it's like, it's a curse. It's not a permanent thing. It's not, I'm imagining, blended in. And then the fact that there are 3 kingdoms surrounding the Clover Kingdom. The Diamond Kingdom, the unexplored neutral nation of Heart, and the demon nation of Spade. Now already we know about the Diamond Kingdom, and I'm imagining Mars, he probably already started a revolution over there, so it's safe to say that there's a huge possibility the Diamond Kingdom will not be an issue. In fact, I would argue that at some given point, once shit kicks off, it's probably not going to be against the Diamond Kingdom. It'll probably be either the nation of Spade or Heart. More than likely, it seems like we're going towards the nation of Spade because they're the ones with the demons, and that seems to be based on how, you know, Julia started talking about, like, you know, Asta's power and his demon power. That'll probably be the one that they go against, on top of the fact that the nation of Heart seems to be, based on what he described, neutral. I'm imagining we're gonna have the Diamond Kingdom be an alliance with us. They'll probably show up at some given point, maybe Mars, throughout all of what was going on with this elf invasion and, you know, the fight against the devil. Maybe Mars has made some great strides, and now the Diamond Kingdom is going to back us up, because right now, based on what was said, we need all the help we can get. All the Magic Knights were going at it, and they're weakened. The Clover Kingdom is in shambles. On top of what Yami says later on in the chapter, that, yo, it's kind of awkward. We were like fighting amongst each other. So there's a lot of things that prevent us from being full scale. Like, okay, if we get attacked again, we're very weakened. So to see that the Diamond Kingdom is one of the surrounding places, they're probably going to be the cavalry that's going to come in and, like, yo, we weakened, yo, we really can't do this against this battle against these ancient demons. We're gonna need help. And the Diamond Kingdom with Mars leading will be freaking awesome. I can't wait for his return. And just quickly, the unexplored neutral nation of Heart. I'm wondering if, okay, let's just say we go to war with the Demon Nation. Is the Nation of Heart going to stand in the middle and try and stop it? Are they going to just completely stay out of it? Or are they going to finally pick a side? Because just because somebody's neutral now doesn't mean that they're going to permanently be like, okay, I'm staying out of it. Maybe they'll look to see who's the winner. Or maybe the reason why they're an unexplored neutral nation is because they're waiting for a power to drop so that they could jump in. Because you got to think about it. If we got the Kingdom of Clover, we got the Spade Kingdom, and we got the Diamond Kingdom, they're probably like, yo, we don't want to rock the boat because we attack somebody that'll weaken us, and then we'll get attacked. They might be waiting for the right moment to strike and, you know, wait until, like, okay, the Demon Nation is winning, or the Clover Kingdom, vice versa, whatever, for them to jump in. So they might not be an ally despite them being quote-unquote neutral. And also quickly, the Demon Nation of Spade, the way it was shown, it kind of reminded me of, like, Beyond the Wall in Game of Thrones, where it's just like, winter is coming, because again, it would make sense, and probably that's the inspiration, to be honest with you. If these are like demons, it'll kind of be like the White Walkers in a way. Obviously, Tabata will do his own twist, because, you know, the demon is like not a White Walker or whatever. So maybe that's the inspiration behind it. And again, that just shows that, yo, if you're getting inspired by Game of Thrones for something, woo, this is gonna be lit, and not the pottery type of lit, okay? And then we finally dive into, okay, what's the major reason why Asta will quote-unquote die? Because again, going back, that was one of the things that Julia said, like, yo, Asta's supposed to die or whatever, because it kind of blends, if you think about it, the simplicity of a kid's thought and a kid's mind, not realizing the after fact, not thinking, you know, far ahead, because Asta's like, okay, hey, why don't we just tell, you know, the people that they've been tricked by the devil, so that way there's no awkwardness between, hey, why people were fighting back and forth. But then finding out more about the Magic Congress, that they're going to make a decision, and that they might use Asta as a scapegoat because he's connected to the devil or whatever. That goes to show that, again, it's kids at the same time. Asta's still a kid, no matter how strong he is, no matter how strong Yoooooo is, although I'd argue Yoooooo is mentally more up there. He still doesn't have the capacity to deal with situations. Like, he's still nowhere near being even close to, like, hey, you know, he should be the Magic Emperor or something like that, because he's still thinking on a small basis, not realizing that politics start showing up, and it's like, hey, you're connected to those bad guys somehow, similar to like an Attack on Titan, how many times Eren, they threw him in jail cells and stuff like that, even though he's fighting on the right side. I'm imagining that that's where we're going with this as well, seeing the politics and the ins and outs of the Clover Kingdom. The Magic Emperor from the jump was shown that he's not the ultimate pinnacle person that is in charge of everything. He doesn't have the full say so to say, this is how it's gonna go, that's how it's gonna go. We still have that dumb king. And then the comedy, baby. We have what I'm going to mark as the Buggy of Black Clover with Seke. Hands down, he's the Buggy, because when you see him with the king, and the king is like, oh my god, Julius told me about the peasants, that they could surpass the limits, blah blah blah, you saved me. And finding out that Seke just basically got lucky. He just happened to be running this way, and like, oh man, hands down the Buggy all the way of Black Clover. I mean, it's already kind of been confirmed he's the comedic relief, so to speak, but the way it was done, it reminds me of like when Buggy was appointed warlord, basically on one big happy accident, how everybody started following Buggy. I'm imagining at some given point, Seke's gonna start getting so much undeserved respect and people following him, similar to a Buggy, because like if the king is saying like, yo, this dude's the shit, people are going to listen and say, wow, yo, this guy. And he even plays it up even more like Buggy did as well. Like, yeah, you know, I unlocked my potential. I'm like, oh, this is so fucking good. This is so funny. It's like we getting, again, information, world building, so many awesome revelations, or starting to reveal stuff anyway. And then we're getting funny stuff at the same time. Genuinely good comedy. Like Seke. Boo-ha-ha-ha! Okay, I know I'm not funny, but yeah, I thought it was funny. And then we had the attack from those magic wizards on the king. They were looking for, or they were attacking Augustus Kira, and they said it was all in the name of the Eye of the Midnight Sun, or it was all the work of the Eye of the Midnight Sun. I'm kind of curious if they were just disguising it, because we know that the Eye of the Midnight Sun, the whole battle has been finished. I don't know if they were referring to, because it was a little complicated there, I don't know if they were trying to say like, hey, the reason we're able to take you down is because of the Eye of Midnight Sun, or they were hiding their identity and their true, I guess, connections, because it could have been already an attack from the Heart Nation or the Demon Nation of Spade. Like, there's a possibility they were just masking who they were attacking on behalf of, because the Eye of the Midnight Sun's over. Lit has been defeated, or Patri's been defeated. Patri actually is now on the side of the good guys, so it was just kind of like, what? Unless they were just talking about, hey, we're able to do this now, this is all the work of the Eye of the Midnight Sun, because like y'all defeated, basically, we could do this. Otherwise, it's just, why would you hide your identity behind that, unless they are somehow remnants of the Eye of the Midnight Sun, which I think, I want to say majority of them were wiped out, so, and all the malice was wiped out of them as well. So unless they're still under the brainwashing, just simplistic brainwashing, not the stones going in and turning them into elves and stuff like that, then maybe these were like some sort of spies or some people working on behalf of another nation that they just don't want their identity and where they come from to be revealed. And of course, the introduction of Damnatio, which he says that these are anti-monarchist nobles, so it could be just people that in general are from the kingdom, don't really care for the king, and they're like, yo, this is our opportunity to strike. But Damnatio, very, very big game changer, because now again, we're getting more of the magic congress and, you know, the political aspects of stuff like that, where we're getting a very raw situation, a bad situation. We've seen it in Shonen before, where the hero gets accused of being a bad guy simply because he's using powers that the bad guys have. But Damnatio, bro, when he says kneel and he shows up and shit like that, I'm like, this dude kind of looks like a young Bruce Wayne or like a Clark Kent. I can't really call that. I don't know. I'll let you guys decide. What does he look more like, Clark Kent or Bruce Wayne? Either way, like, the dude is a badass, has these balance beams that kind of shows a black flame, which is signifying that, hey, he's on to what's going on with Asta being there, and having a demon inside the Clover Kingdom is just no-go, no bueno. So we're going to see Asta probably be put through the ringer in order to prove himself that, yo, I'm not a bad guy. I may have this curse on me, there may be a demon in my grimoire, but it ain't that I'm a bad guy. I'm a good dude. And I think Damnatio, if he's as good in terms of at his job as he proclaims, then he's going to be able to say, okay, you know what? You may have these powers, you may be, you know, linked to these demons, the Nation of Spade, and of course this realm that we cannot see, but you're not bad. So that's probably how I'm imagining it's going to play out. Or they might put him on a mission to the Nation of Spade and say, hey, you return alive, then we'll pardon you. But having that balance beam, I'm imagining that's going to play a factor moving forward. Maybe the demons can actually mask themselves as well in disguise of like humans. So Damnatio's potentially going to have to use that balance beam to seem like, okay, this person is a demon, this person's human. Because if not, if they're potentially able to do this, how can you distinguish who's good and who's bad if they are able to conceal their identity and put their mask on, so to speak? And of course, the chapter again ends off with Damnatio saying he's coming to judge the person that is the demon, or the person that is devil possessed, so to speak. So a lot of info in this chapter, but again, it didn't feel like an info dump, thankfully. Like, this is how you do world building, how you introduce things, foreshadow the future of stuff like that, where you have great information, but again, things are still feeling like a good vibe, I guess you would say. I can't really think the words that I want to use right now for it, because again, Yami joking around saying, oh, get away from me. Julia's still impressed by Nero's powers. The revelation that Nero is heavily connected to the demons and whatnot. I'm really, really curious to see how this is going to go down, because now, again, not only do we have surrounding nations, again, I think the Diamond Kingdom is going to be an ally. I don't think anymore we're going to have to fight them. We've already had some big battles, and on top of that, if Mars is really going to make a change, we might have an ally. He might be the leader of the Diamond Kingdom by the time all is said and done. And again, show up when we need them the most, because we're in shambles right now. The Clover Kingdom's all messed up. But I'm curious what you guys think about all of this. For starters, do you think the Nation of Heart is going to continue to be truly neutral, or they're just waiting for the right moment to strike and take over? Because if the Clover Kingdom is down, Diamond Kingdom probably isn't the same anymore. Maybe they're just waiting for the Nation of Spade, the Demon Nation of Spade, to make a move or get weakened, or any of the kingdoms to get weakened, so they could jump in and try and finish off both these nations, or all the nations in general? Or do you think that they're going to be an ally as well? I mean, them being neutral is a good and a bad thing, because it's like, okay, they don't seem to be that they're a threat as of right now, but if they decide to make a move, we're kind of screwed, because we're just so weakened. If all the other nations want to join together, we're screwed. Also, how did he feel about Seke getting recognition for saving the king? Like, oh man, Buggy, here we go, baby. I love it. And what did you think of Damnatio? What do you think he's going to do regarding judging Asta? Is he going to say, yo, he gotta be killed? Is he going to pardon him? Like, let's be real, Asta's not gonna die. Like, he's just not gonna die. And if he does die, he'll be resurrected, a la like a Yusuke in the Sensui arc or something like that. But do you think he's going to say, hey, we need to lock him up? You think he's going to recognize his heart? Or you think he's going to say, you know what? You want to prove that you're not bad? Go take care of the Spade Nation along with the Black Bulls. Then you can prove yourself. Until then, you're under lock and key, so to speak. And your overall thoughts and expectations for the future of Black Clover moving forward to 217 and on. I mean, we just got a lot in this chapter to take in. Like, the world building, exponentially awesome. Like, I'm looking forward to it. Like, this is like on a very mini, and One Piece fans, don't kill me, but this is a very mini version of how One Piece does it. Like, now we have these giant kingdoms that we have to face, so to speak. And do you think the Diamond Kingdom is going to be a part of helping us now that Mars, you know, kind of made a change and stuff like that? But that's all I have for this one, though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in.
Enjoy the next ride, but I was the best ride. But I hope you know that